You think that might be the last one we need?
We have to get to the chest.
What do you mean you lost the keys?
It means exactly what you think it means. I must have grabbed Twilight's keys by mistake. Which also means I am never gonna hear the end of this one. Hello, my loyal subjects. Heather Blossom here, and today we'll be diving halfway through a doozy. Today we tackle the Key Ark. Indeed, this will possibly be the worst video to edit ever. But hey, that's human Heather's problem, so let's get to it. The Key Ark is the central plot of Season 4, and the show's first real attempt at a more complex season-long story arc. The more previous attempts, such as Season 4's Princess Arc and Season 1's Grand Galloping Gala Arc, notably lack a lot of in-between correspondence since the beginning and end of their respective plots. This drastically changes with the Key Ark, as there are not just 3 or 4 episodes devoted to it, but 9. 9 episodes with at least one devoted to each respective cast member of the main 6. Which is great for people who thought their favorite character wasn't getting their due. Now they all have at least one chance in the spotlight, or more since this wasn't even the entire season. Now, how did it start? With Princess Twilight Sparkle, of course. This two-parter opened up the season and also revealed that all the previous seasons took place within a year. 3 seasons. 1 year. So you're telling me Equestria was put into danger around 5 times, Ponyville was partially destroyed next to 14 times, New Princess is revealed at least 3 times, Rainbow being an oblivious airhead over 20 times, Twilight really screwing things up with magic 7 or 8 times, and Applejack being stubborn up to 11 times, all in the course of a year. Hey look! Twilight sucks at flying, are you happy now, bronies? I would say though that this is one of the strongest season openers My Little Pony has turned out. At least the first half was. The second half kinda lost me. For one, I know friendship is kind of our bread and butter here, but aren't there some things you gotta put above that? Like, I don't know, perhaps the well-being of the rest of your people? Applejack made good points. Twilight is next in line for the throne of Equestria. I assume Candace is out because she's got an empire of her own to look out for. As much as some of us would hate to admit it, she can't live like a normal pony anymore. She has more than just herself and her friends to worry about. She's got a country. Dashing out into a forest to take action is not something she should be doing when she's the only one left in charge. I assume that's what the Royal Guard is for. And there isn't really a nicer way to put it. The remaining 5 are expendable. I mean, we know our ponies will triumph in the end, but they don't know that. For all they know, they could die or get trapped or petrified. There's no assurance of success for them, especially with Twilight forgetting you could have just teleported away from the croc or whatever. Next off, the main 6 did not represent their respective elements very well. In fact, in Rainbow Dash's case, she shows the exact opposite. I, of course, referenced the point in the second half where she blames Applejack for Twilight's return to Ponyville. Great loyalty there, Rainbutt. Way to bring this team together. It isn't even addressed what each element represents or why, and I only mention this because I feel a season opener should be open to everyone, meaning someone can walk in with no prior knowledge and understand what's going on. Though I suppose they didn't want to deal with clunky exposition, so they just threw that out altogether. My next grievance has to do with Discord. Don't get me wrong, I thought he was great overall, and it would have been lame if Discord wasn't the least bit naughty anymore. Though he oversteps his bounds, he is hilarious any chance he gets, and near the end he may be a bit arrogant, but he is still bonded to Fluttershy's friendship, and that's just so sweet. But with the conclusion of the premiere confirming his involvement, it proves he straight up lied in the first half. I know he's not that reformed, but lying to your friends is too much of a dick move in my book. I mean, does he really get punished for any of it? And no, that does not count. Also, we found a tree that ate our elements and then gave us a tacky box to open. Sorry, keys not included. You're gonna have to follow those rainbows. Next in the Key Ark lineup is Rarity Takes Manhattan. Our fair Rarity must wrestle with the competitive fashion world and her generous nature. Yeah, sometimes in life being nice will just screw you over, and Rarity gets it real bad in this episode. It even forces her to turn her hotel room into a sweatshop in order to beat the mayor who commandeered her design. But the more she strived to exploit the best out of her surroundings, the more she came to be as manipulative and mean-spirited, nearly driving her friends away in the process. What I like most about this episode though is it shows a part of why Rarity does what she does. Sure, her business is about spreading glamour and making certain that a pony can dress in a way that reflects who they are, but she also wants to operate in a way her friends can be proud of and cheer her on for. She doesn't want to lose who she is for the sake of being at the top, and her generous ways are a part of that. It's inspirational, so much so that a pony that reminds me a lot of a panda bear for some reason is motivated to change her path and strive for the Rarity way, and in influencing this, Rarity earns her key. After this, we have the infamous Rainbow Falls. Yeah, I don't like Rainbow Dash, but I can tell ya, I know when she has a good episode going on. May the best pet win? Alright. Sonic Rainboom? Good. Wonderbolt Academy? Awesome! Rainbow Falls? No. Just no. It's the same setup as Wonderbolt's Academy, Dash having to pick between her own moral code and friendships with the Wonderbolts, and Wonderbolt Academy just did it so much better. In fact, a fellow analyst by the name CatAvenger makes a good argument on how Wonderbolt Academy would actually make a better substitute for this episode in her video, so just go watch that about that. Not to mention, this episode is actually part of another arc, the Equestria Games arc. You know, that arc that started in Season 3 with the dull fest that was Games Ponies Play, and ends in this season with an episode that's just kind of okay. Yeah, that one. Standing on its own feet, this episode still doesn't have much to offer. You get some good fan service moments, but Rainbow Dash's conflict in this one seems incredibly out of place. We know where her loyalty really lies because she's already made this decision before. She honestly shouldn't be having this dilemma at all. But screw it, Dash, the writers will throw you a key anyway, if only because we need your face on about a gazillion more t-shirts. Only natural to follow up a stinker like that one is to have a freaking great one like Pinkie Pride. This episode has everything. Great songs, emotional moments, a hilarious duel, a guest appearance by one of my favorite parody artists, and whatever the heck this is. I mean, I didn't ask for it, but I'm glad I got it. This episode attacks something I honestly didn't expect. Pinkie Pie swallowing her pride to make sure happiness succeeds. Now, when I think pride, the last pony I think of is Pinkie. Well, no, the last pony I would think of is Fluttershy, but the first one I would think of would be Rainbow Dash, followed by Rarity or Applejack. Point being, I never really saw Pinkie as a person with a lot of pride to protect, but she surprised me with all her silly antics that are right in your face. I suppose I thought she was more unashamed of the things she did rather than proud, but she actually takes partying very seriously, especially for special occasions like birth-anniversaries or whatever. Pinkie's feature here is actually quite similar to how Rarity's is. She does her craft far more than for one reason, but one of the biggest is doing it in a way that her friends can be proud of and happy with. And after a pinata to the hindquarters, Pinkie Pie earns her key. Alrighty, how many episodes did we just knock out? Well, that's 4 to go. Tune in next time for the epic conclusion that I will post whenever I feel like it, I don't know. Until then, I'm Heather Blossom. And hopefully I'll still have my crown after this.